未啊，未講完啊，未講完，斷咗線啊。
Okay. So
Yes.
so like the British really messed up there
Mm.
because when they left India,
Mm.
they basically divided the area
Mm.
and said that Muslims should be on this side
Mm.
and Hindus should be on this side.
Mm.
And actually, it was a massive problem.
Mm.
I mean, a little bit like West Germany and East Germany divide, and then basically families who actually were in both parts were suddenly separated, and that created all kinds of wars. And now we have a situation in India and Pakistan, which is extremely volatile. Pakistan is developing a lot of nuclear weapons. India is working really hard to build their army as big as possible. They put a lot of money into their military, and both countries hate each other really passionately. If you make the mistake of saying that an Indian person or a Pakistani person is Indian, they really hate it.
But in Hong Kong, we have a lot of Indian and Pakistan um, born person. Yeah, born person because of the UK, because of the UK colonial rules. We have a lot of Indians. Okay, their father and Pakistan, their grandfather come from India. Their father were born in Hong Kong. He was born in Hong Kong. It seems easy to be distinguished between India and Pakistan. I don't know. Easy because it seems Indians dark, maybe a little bit dark. The face look black, but the Pakistan look like European, like you. Yeah, but of course we understand he is not European. He is Pakistan, but his face look like uh, Europeans. Yeah.
I know what you mean, but unfortunately, that's not the way that we can decide. We can't really rely on that because, like, I've traveled all around India. Well, not
Mm,
all, but I've traveled
mm,
like
mm,
3,000 miles
mm,
around India when I was young.
mm,
And you can see that actually, as you move around the country,
mm,
in different parts of the country,
mm.
like in the very, very south of India, people are very black.
Bread, yeah,
Look like almost black. But
bread,
in the north, they could be lighter.
yeah, lighter,
So
yeah.
it's not, but it's not necessarily true. You can have Pakistanis who are very dark as
Perhaps
well.
in Hong Kong, perhaps in Hong Kong's, there the southern majority parts of Indians, their 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 grandfather
Dark,
come from southern part of India, and
maybe,
then
possibly.
relocated to Hong Kong.
Yeah,
So the majorities of Indians, local Hong Kong citizens, uh, look
and see like
look
that. I
bad.
see.
Yeah, perhaps this
Okay,
kind of reason. But in
I see.
Pakistan, of course, uh, close to the northern part of India, if they come
Correct.
from Pakistan, of course, is look lighter.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
that may be true. The
yeah.
best way is if you're not sure, don't guess.
Don't guess. Yes,
And
yes.
the same with white people. Don't guess.
Don't guess. Okay.
No,
Really?
because
Don't guess. Okay.
no, don't guess.
Okay.
Don't guess because for example, Hong Kong people often say to me, "You look like you're American." I don't
Oh.
like that.
Okay. Why?
I don't like that.
Okay.
Well, if how okay, how do you feel if I say you look Japanese?
No problem. I think no problem. I think Hong Kong
But
people, maybe you speak to mainland Chinese person, they are angry. I think I understand. Hong Kong people's things no problem. Yeah, because
Okay.
we have we have the British colonial rule, so we have no problem about
Because you've
our
got used to it.
yeah, because our Chinese nationality identities. Yeah, the local Hong Kong born citizen no problem. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We
But
don't
Chinese
mind.
people are
But
Chinese
the
people are much more patriotic.
yeah. I
And
understand
also
what you feel. Yeah.
Chinese people are more brainwashed.
Yes.
And I mean, Chinese people from the mainland are more brainwashed by their government.
Yes.
Whereas Hong Kong people are a bit more open-minded,
Yes.
have met many different nationalities, have many experience of that.
Yes.
Well, anyway, you know, English people don't want to be confused with Americans or Australians.
But we cannot. So no need to don't guess. So use your word is correct. Don't
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't guess.
And the same is true all over Europe.
Okay.
Same is true all over Europe.
Okay.
I mean, even like, you know, like Italians and French don't want to be confused. You know, Italians and Germans don't want to be confused.
Okay.
Italians and
Yeah.
history, Spanish and Italians, you might think it sounds similar, but they don't want to be confused.
Okay.
You know?
But
Germans and
why the British peoples and American peoples, UK, you speak English, they speak English. Why mine?
Honestly,
Yes, why
if I
mine?
can be honest,
Yeah.
like, please don't misunderstand. I'm not really saying for myself, because
Yeah.
I've traveled a lot in the world, and my mum taught me to be open-minded. But generally, a lot of English people don't really respect America.
Really? Why?
Yeah, they don't have much respect for America.
Why?
I mean, like, most English people, sorry to say, but we think that Americans are dumb.
What can you tie this your kid here? Okay, tie this.
We think they're stupid.
Stupid? Really? Really?
Yeah, because
You speak English, they speak English. Why? Yeah.
we are very different. We're totally different.
Okay.
Well, one thing you should know about Americans is, if you think about the history of America,
Okay.
a lot of people think that American people left Britain
Okay.
to avoid persecution.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
I understand. Understand.
But in fact, it was the opposite of that. Because the pilgrims who went to America, actually, a lot of them went to America because they wanted to persecute people.
Really?
They went there, because they went there because they had very strict religious beliefs or very strict ideologies about life. And they found that in England they couldn't make a society in the way they wanted to make it. So they went to America because they wanted to live in the way they wanted to live. So, and the history of America, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, the history of Britain is terrible. You know, British people have been terrible to other countries around the world, right? I mean, we treated, you know, the British government treated Chinese people very badly. They treated lots of different countries very badly. Indian, all kinds of people. But at the same time, we set up colonies in places and established networks and systems for those countries, you know, and built the economies of those countries. So, I'm not saying that we did everything good. We did a lot of bad things and treated people badly. But America did something completely different. They went to America and basically killed most of the locals. The same as Australia. You know, the British people who went to Australia didn't treat the Australian people nicely. Now, in Australia, there are very few native Australian people because British people killed most of them. And they forced them to adopt Christianity. The same as people did in America. They didn't go there and respect their own local culture and respect their religion and things like that. They killed them, beat them, treated them really badly. And now, most of the native Australians are alcoholics and they fight, drink alcohol all day, and they don't have land to live in because the British people who went there took over their land and they didn't treat them well at all. So the native Australians hate the local Australians. And the local Australians really look down on the native Australians. And this is basically the same in America. That in both countries, they treated the locals very badly. And Canada is different to that. Canada and New Zealand are quite different. You find that the Canadians and Australians are much nicer people and that they actually have tried much harder to respect the native people, the Ngoimak, the really indigenous people of those countries. So I have a lot more respect for Canada and New Zealand and not so much respect for America and Australia. And I mean, if you look at the Australian government, they're very conservative, which is not something I like. I don't like a conservative government. And I mean, look at America. I mean, America is in a complete mess. The education is terrible. The health system is appallingly bad. You can't, poor people can't afford to get health care. There are millions of homeless people in America who are treated really badly by the police and people like that. And the society has completely fallen apart to the point where we have somebody like Donald Trump as a president. I mean, how can a country allow someone like Donald Trump to be in control of their country? That suggests that the whole society has fallen apart.
Really?
Because it means that, because if you get to a point where your population votes for a person like that in power, then there's definitely a problem with society. Because it means that many people voted for him that allowed him to get into power. He's not a suitable president. He's a horrible man.
Okay. So can I say the United States is still the strongest nation in the world because of the military power, just military power?
Yeah, only that.
Only that.
Only that, I would say. Not in terms of intelligence of population, not in terms of the health of the population. They have massive drug problems. The same with Australia. Australia and America both have huge drug problems with young people. There are massive areas of the country which are overtaken by drugs and the youth population. They have all kinds of problems in society. They have, mass shootings in school.
Yes, so
people going crazy and killing loads of school kids and stuff. What sort of society is that?
What happens of the United States? What happened? Why? Why many homeless people? Why
because the society has fallen apart. They don't have respect for each other. The government doesn't respect the people. The government is controlled by people who just want more power. They don't have respect for their population.
Okay.
I mean, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump should be in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Right? He's been indicted on like 60 charges or whatever it is, I don't know, but he should be in prison. But why is he not in prison?
Because Donald Trump always say this. He's advertised himself American strong again. He fight for the people. He always slogan like this, but not true. You mean not true? Not true.
No, not true. He's just tricked everyone. He's a liar and cheat. He always has been. He's always been like that. He just tricks people and he gets people basically, this is what I'm saying, is that the society became so bad that people believed that they needed somebody like him to change the country.
He always slogan, strong again. United
Yeah.
My respectful fellow college, United States. Man, believe me, strong again. I will need the United States strong again. I do for the people, fight for the people. Not true? But
I don't
okay, but the United States
MAGA.
people believe. I think quite a big maybe 45, at least 45% of the United States voter believe this.
Yeah.
Believe this.
MAGA.
MAGA.
MAGA, M-A-G-A.
Yeah.
Make America Great Again. They always have it on their hats. Yeah.
Yes. They believe
but then,
this.
They stormed the Capitol, right?
Yes.
They tried to make a revolution and stormed the Capitol.
Yes.
I mean, a bit like Hong Kong, but different, you know.
Different.
The people
different.
of Hong Kong were standing up to the Chinese government because they knew that the Chinese government was not treating Hong Kong well.
Yes.
It's not treating the young people well. But America, they just stood up against everybody and said, we don't care, and went with massive guns all over the place, right?
Yes.
Complete chaos.
Okay.
Yeah, it's complete chaos.
But do you know why American people, every American people have guns? Why?
Because of the ridiculous downfall of society. This is what I'm saying, is that, like, American people are so scared of each other that they think they need guns to protect themselves against each other. So, for example, they get into an argument about driving. You cut in front of me.
Okay.
It's crazy, right?
Yes.
You know, that's what I'm saying, is that is not a good sign about society. The fact that everybody wants to have a gun.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the government allows everybody to have guns doesn't show something good about the society.
Because the gun companies pay a lot of profit tax to the government. This is the one of the important points. And the second point you say is correct. United States constitutions or mindset that everybody have freedom to protect themselves. So you have argument with me or I have argument with me. I need to protect myself first. Yeah. A test is the most best. Look, a test is the best method to defense. It is correct. You understand what I say? I just translate into Cantonese. Okay, the best method for the protection is the attack first.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. And you know, you could say that the American government has reinvented the slave trade.
Okay.
Do you know why?
No. Why?
Well, you know what the slave trade means, right?
Yes.
That British and American people were trading slaves from Africa and selling them to different countries and stuff like that. Yeah, in exchange for goods. So they exchanged black people for silk or whatever it is, or cotton or gold or something, or whatever it is from around the world, right? So they picked up from their colonies in Africa shiploads of strong African men and then took them to different countries and sold them, right? So now the American government has done something a little bit, not the same, but they have reinvented it, because we're not allowed to have slaves anymore. In most countries in the world, it's illegal to have slaves. Right? You can't sell people, that's illegal. However, America imprisons more of its citizens than any other country in the world. They have 1% of their population in prison. Now, there may be extreme examples like North Korea. Okay, like North Korea is completely crazy, right? You can't say anything bad against Kim Jong-un. You get put in prison or you get killed. Okay, that's an extreme dictatorship society, right? But for civilized, um, most civilized countries in the world don't put so many citizens in prison. But America does. America has a system which they say it's a bit like baseball. They call it 3 strikes and you're out. So, for example, if you commit 2 serious crimes in your life, let's say, for example, you get committed to, let's say you have 5-year sentence for fighting with somebody and hurting them. Okay, you go to prison for 5 years, and then again, maybe you do something serious, you rob a shop or something, right? You get another 3 years, okay? So you've done 5 years, you've done 3 years in prison. The next time you commit any offense, you get a life sentence.
Oh, right.
Any offense.
Okay.
So there are people in America who are serving life sentences for stealing CDs. So let's say 20 years ago, they stole some VCDs or CDs from a shop. Now they do life in prison. And what happens when they go to prison is that all the prisoners in America make all the military equipment, a lot of paints, a lot of different products are produced by prisoners, and they get paid very little money. So the prisons in America are like factories, but the people have no choice. They have to work, and they don't get paid very much. Now, that's true in most countries, that prisoners work and produce something. But in America, it's really crazy. They have 1% of the population in jail, and it's more than any other democratic country in the world.
Wow, but they say United States always says they are vote for they are elected by the United States citizen. Wow, but why they treat their citizens so bad? Wow, lying. They are lying.
It's terrible. Yeah, it is really a lie. There's this American society is awful. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but it's a little bit like Chinese society, because they have this, I think that they have a similar problem, that the government makes people scared of the police and the government. Like, you know how in China they encourage people to tell on their neighbors. The same thing that C.Y. Leung did in Hong Kong with his, what is it called, Office 79 or something, I can't remember what it's called, but he set up this office in Hong Kong and invested, I don't know, $1 billion Hong Kong or something, and said, if you are prepared, like let's say for example, you know that I do something bad, okay, and you call the number and tell them, this man, Mr. Campbell, did something bad, you can get some money, right? In Hong Kong, it's like that, right? If I see my neighbor doing something bad and I call the police and tell them, I can get some money.
Monitoring each other, it is correct. Monitoring each other, encourage the citizen. Yeah.
Encouraging basically citizens to help the police and government to control each other. Now, to me, that is a really bad idea, because it turns everybody against each other. It means that the whole of society is not working nicely together. It means that you are always looking at your neighbor, not trusting each other. And that's the way China is. China is like that, wherever you go, you're on camera, you are getting points, you are losing points, right, on this point system. Well, in America, they do similar sorts of things, that they encourage, they encourage each other to report on each other, and they make everybody scared of each other and stuff like this. It's part of the reason why everybody has guns.
Oh yeah.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Wow.
Canada is completely different. Do you know that in Canada they have more guns per citizen than America? But they don't shoot each other. They use their guns for hunting.
Okay.
Every house in Canada has at least 1 or 2 guns. But they use them for hunting. If a bear comes to their house, they protect themselves against a bear, right? Or mountain lion or something. They might need it to protect their children, right? They don't go to schools and shoot loads of children. And in Canada, their doors are always open. If you go down the street in Canada, you can push the door and it will open. And if you open the door and you go in and say sorry, and people will say, oh, how can I help you? Whereas in America, they have 5 locks on each door, and if you walk into someone's house, they will shoot. Totally different.
Wow.
Completely different society.
Wow.
Yes. We've gone a bit away from our topic about where English came from. But I just wanted to finish our conversation about English, because I said to you that I feel that English comes from 2 sides, right? One is the people who have invaded us as a country. So like Romans, Scandinavian, and all that, right?
French,
The other one is the other way around. Because Britain has either invaded or colonized so many countries around the world, especially during the Victorian times and Elizabeth I, right? We have a lot of our English from those other countries. So a lot of English comes from Jamaican, West Indian, Indian. So we have a lot of words in English that we use that most people don't know, but those words are actually Indian words. So that means that we have a lot of words that have come to England from other countries, but we've also got a lot of words that have come to England because we've gone to other countries, taken their words, and then taken them back to England. That's why England is such a mix, because we've got languages that have influenced English, but also loan words that have come into English from all the different colonies, you know. Like, I mean, like Chinese food, for example, because of Southern Chinese people setting up restaurants in England, we have all kinds of words related to food, and you also have the same sort of thing from England. I was talking to my students the other day about gipzap. You know gipzap? Sauce, gipzap?
Yes.
Do you know that is actually from Worcester, the city of Worcester in England?
Really? I don't know.
Yeah. Gipzap is not Chinese. It is English. It's just that it's called Worcestershire sauce. Leah and Perrins Worcestershire sauce. But what they did was they took Worcestershire sauce, which is a mixture of Jamaican spices, because Jamaica was one of our colonies, and then some British ingredients, and some tamarind from Asia, and different things that they mixed together. And then when Chinese people started to eat it, they found that it was not sweet enough, too sour. So Hong Kong Chinese people made gipzap, which is basically Worcestershire sauce, but with a bit more sugar. It's basically the same sauce that comes from England, because English people were using that on their dim sum. We used to put, long time ago, we used to put Worcestershire sauce with our dim sum and different things like that was imported from England. But then the Chinese people said, oh, this is interesting, but we'll just change it a little bit.
Oh, right. Thank you.
So we have quite a lot of things that have gone both ways, you know.
Thank you. Thank you for your information. Interesting. Very interesting. Thanks.
But I would like to learn more from you about what you know about the history of English as well.
English, I think, originally come from Latin language, because the Roman empires is the Latin. I think all European language originally come from Latin, yes. And then, okay, after the collapse of the Roman empires, the Germans, the Germans become stronger, yes, around 500, around 500. So the Germans influence a lot of European countries, include British, include England. So the old but I don't know the old English. I of course I don't know. I think we speak modern English. The Germans, the old Germans language influenced the old English, yeah, old English. But old English, I think I don't know. Perhaps you have idea or not, because I don't know what are old English. Yeah, you may tell me later what are the difference between old English and new English. I don't know. And then in 1066, the French army came across the straits of the English and conquer the English, England. Yeah. So the Saxon, yes, the Saxons become the leaders of England. Yes. So
only the south.
South, the England. Okay. So your words is correct. The French language affects the English, yeah. And I always say from the 1200s to 1500s, French was the strongest country in Europe. So of course French become popular in England. Yeah, become popular in England. But and then the French decline. I didn't say the Napoleon. Around 1500 decline. So the British people developed their own language system. Yeah. Of course, adopted the language from the northern parts of the Europe, the Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, and then also the local peoples of the England at that time, and developed the initial versions of modern English. Yeah.
That's basically right.
Yeah, basically like this. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Can we, Perry? I'm sorry. Can we continue this conversation next time? Because
next time, of course.
My wife wants to go and take the kids to the beach, and now it's already 5:15.
Yeah, next time.
Before it gets dark, I have to take them out to the beach.
Yes. Thanks.
Get them out of the house. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But it's been a nice conversation. I look forward to continuing this. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we talk about the English history next time. Yeah. Okay.
Please, you can tell me more next time. Yeah, educate me more. I love
really? the questions, I don't know Old English, and I don't know what is the first versions of modern English. So I have problem
about. I can tell you a bit about that. I can tell you a bit because I had to learn some of that when I was in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See you. Keep going.
Right.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Yeah?
Yes, you too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Nice to see you.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Barry. See you soon. Yeah.
See you. Bye bye.